Hello guys, it's Nim and welcome back to my channel. Today's Friday. You know what that means? Friday means Planet Zoo. And for this episode in Planet Zoo, we are not building anywhere near the entrance. When I first created this map, I had this enormous, gigantic, fantastic idea to build a lemur island. So the little islands we have in the middle of the big lake is actually going to be our lemur islands. Of course, we are going to need some buildings on the normal ground levels and not on the islands, on the actual land, because otherwise our keepers won't be able to get to the islands, because I don't want bridges leading there, because I really want it to be animals only. And naturally in real life there probably will be some way for the keepers to get there, but in Planet Zoo or it's not there or I haven't figured it out yet. You know, it's one or the two, but it doesn't really matter because today we are building nonetheless. So we are going to start off with our main building, and our main building basically being the inside habitat for the animals where the guests will be able to look as well. Now, while I was building this, I still had the idea of, you know what, I'm going to do this main building and then this big outside area here. And then I finished the building and I was, yeah. So these animals are going to have this pretty big inside building, if I have to be honest. It is going to be pretty big in the end. And then they're going to have an entire island, and then I also want to give them actually an outside area next to their sleeping habitat. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, thank you. We are just not going to do that. So in the end we are going to change the habitat slightly, just with the natural barriers. We are obviously using null barriers because they're my favorites, and we are going to change that up a little bit just to make sure that it looks better and that the guests can actually get there. Because, you know, lemurs, they have this entire island, they don't need this big space. So now, this building that I'm building here, I have no clue how to build anything in Planet Zoo. We all know that I'm not the best builder in here. Like, I'm pretty much known for my landscaping. I'm gonna be quite honest with that. I'm incredibly proud of my landscaping as well, but that is basically all I'm good at in Planet Zoo. I am developing myself as a builder though. I think I'm getting better and better each day. And I also think it helps that I started to play Planet Coaster, because Planet Coaster, it's different than Planet Zoo. I don't want to say it's better, because I don't think that it is. It is very different. Like, obviously, that's a theme park, this is a zoo, so it's very different. And I like it very much, but in Planet Coaster, the buildings are far more important than in Planet Zoo. At least that's how I see it. In Planet Zoo, it's mainly about the animals, and I feel like if you're building a theme park, it's about theming, so all your buildings need to be correct. And even so, that's also true in a zoo. I feel like it's less. You know, I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. I hope so. I'm sorry if you don't, but, you know, it is what it is. That's life. Anywho, so I'm guessing since I started playing Planet Coaster, my building will improve in Planet Zoo as well, which I'm actually quite happy about, because that's something that I want to improve, and also something that I need to improve and can improve on. And I feel like that's pretty important. I have to say, I'm shocked. I'm amazed by you guys as well. I can't believe it. Was it a week ago? Paulsley tweeted out a tweet that had some awesome content creators, smaller creators, and I was in there very happy about that, but also amazed, because suddenly my videos got so many views, and in like one day I got like 12 or 13 extra subs on my channel, which is insane to me. Like, I know it's, maybe you're here and you're like, well, that's not a lot. It's a lot for me, and I greatly appreciate it. Like, I do. I can't even begin to express how much I appreciate all of you guys, like, subbing on my channel, watching my videos. And I never could imagine that. And I just wanted to say thank you. So, thank you. I know that you're here. I appreciate you. And I can't say enough how much I appreciate you. Really, thank you. Just thanks. And also, like, know that if you want to say something, let me know in the comments down below. I always respond to all my comments. So don't worry about that. If you have any suggestions or things you see, well, you could have done that different, you could have done it more efficient, let me know. I'm eager to learn, like, you know, I'm still learning. and I want to learn as well. I think like it's really important to create a community with each other, and I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited. So I did my best on this video on this Lemur island. I have this, like I said, I had this idea for quite a bit, and I'm actually really thrilled about it, and I'm really happy about it, and I hope that we're going to succeed. And I feel like this video is quite good. So here we are leaving the main building for what it is, because I wanted to make sure that the idea for the bridge that I had was actually doable. Luckily it was, spoiler alert. So we are building this bridge, and we are using the climbable wooden logs from the enrichments. And now we are actually creating a rope surrounding that, because I wanted to make this rope bridge. Is that a correct word? I think that's a correct word. And I actually just wanted to create that and see if it worked. And I have to say, I'm quite happy with it. So I was just checking if it fits. I was like, yep, it fits, good. Now I can make it look more fancy and everything. And in the end, oh yeah, obviously checking if the animals can climb it, because that's like really important, and that's something that we need to know. So they could climb it, and now we are trying to make it more fancy with a lot of ropes. This is one of the first times I actually worked with rope and building everything custom. Like I usually build a lot of things custom, but not to this extent. And I'm really quite happy with the way it turned out, because, you know, it looks good. And I know that's just me saying it, but I honestly think that it looks really good. So here again, you know, just making sure that it looks fancy, like what I used to do. I like used to, as in like a really long time ago, like last week. I didn't really like a lot of custom things, and here we are just making it custom, and I feel like this looks a lot better. Now, fun thing, the animals can still walk under it, but they won't. What they will actually do, they will climb on top of it. And I feel like that's really funny, because like in theory, they could still like walk under it, I believe, but they don't. They walk on it. And the way that they jump on it, it's really funny. Like you probably saw it in the starting cinematics, and otherwise it will be in the end cinematics. It looks really funny. So for the inside of the sleeping quarters, I was wondering, what should I do? I could just make it boring, just like some sleeping things. But since we are going all out on the outside, I was like, you know what? We are going to put some poles down, and we are going to make this a climbing heaven for these lemurs. I mean, like, they're endangered. The red lemur is even critically endangered. They deserve something nice. So here I am giving them something that they deserve. And I'm really quite happy with the way that it looked. Even though it was really difficult, like finding out all the different kinds of ropes that we had and what fitted. And it took quite some fiddling. And I left that in on purpose, because I feel like sometimes when I watch YouTube creators, they create something and they cut a lot of it out, which I'm guilty of as well, so, you know. But I cut out a lot of the hard parts, and it makes it look very easy. And that's what I always thought. I was like, oh, well, you just do that and that, and it's easy, you're done. Well, turns out it doesn't really work that way. So for this, I just wanted you guys to show, or to see, what I did, how I did it, you know, etc, etc. How much of a fiddling it was to make everything match perfectly. But in the end, we managed, and I think that's the most important thing. In the end, we even made it a little bit more fancier with crossing ropes. We are going to, like, detail it up. I love details. I really love it. I'm getting better at it each and every day, which I'm really happy about. I was thinking of adding details to these ropes here, but it looked really weird. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just not going to do that. We are going to add this little rope down here into the ground to make it look like it's secure. I feel like that is quite natural in zoos. And also it was a way for the monkeys to climb up easy, or like more natural, in my opinion. And I quite liked the way that it actually looked. Even here, like, it's you can see how much fiddling it is. It was really difficult. But I absolutely love the way that it looks. And now you have this climbing thing, and this actually reminded me, I went to the zoo when they were still open. I mean, they're open now again, but they were closed for a little bit, naturally because of COVID. So I went to the zoo. What zoo did I went? I went to Burger Zoo, which is in the Netherlands, close to Arnhem, I believe, or Nijmegen. One or two cities, one of them. I think it was Arnhem. Yeah. And they had this climbing area for the chimpanzees inside. And it looked so amazing, so that is kind of where my inspiration came from, I have to be honest. I was building and I was like, oh, it reminds me of something. I was like, oh yeah, the chimpanzee habitat. Right. It kind of looks similar, but that's fine, like it's inspiration taken from. Because they actually had a lot more platforms, like way bigger, which is natural because they're chimpanzees and they require more space. And here as well, I wanted to make it look natural. And I felt, you know what, I could just pretend it's mounted into the wall, which would be pretty unnatural. So we are going to add some ropes just to make sure that it looks more natural than it already does now. And I feel like I quite succeeded in that. I'm actually really, really happy with it. And then we are going to put some logs underneath it. Just, you know, because it can't be floating and connected with the ropes. And here we are adding some more enrichment items. That was the word I was looking for, enrichment items. And I wanted the monkeys to sleep on top of these things because that's what I intended it for. So we are going to put some sleeping like hay on the floor, but not too much. I also came to the realization that unfortunately all the food enrichments needs to be in this sleeping area, which no longer will be only a sleeping area, but also enrichments, because otherwise the keepers can't actually enter it. They can't get there because there isn't a way for the keepers to enter the islands. So, you know, unfortunately, there are a lot of feeding things are going to have to be here, but that's completely fine. I also took absolutely no consideration with animal needs. With this, like I said, my previous projects have all been very well leaned on animals' needs, and for this, I just turned them off because I am building a sandbox, so I can. And I just wanted to go all out with beautiful natural habitats and just, you know, do what I want. And I know they're tropical animals, but I don't want only tropical things. I wanted nice flowers as well, and they look so nice on that Planet Zoo log. I love the way it looks. And also with those palm trees, and then we are going to add some more. And here we are actually in the tropical filter, just because I feel like the tropical filter does have a lot of nice plants, and given that the outside is also completely tropical, I was like, yeah, you know what. Anywho, we are adding some elephant plants there, and it's just, I love the way that it actually comes together, and I can't help it. But I really love it. I also can't believe that we're almost 15 minutes into this voiceover. Whoa, and I've still remained on topic. At least I think I did. I can't remember. That's saying a lot about my mental state at the moment. We had the moment, like, I'm recording this on the 5th of December, which is actually a national holiday in the Netherlands. It's Sinterklaas. I hate it. I'm sorry if you like it. I can't deal with it. It is so incredibly busy, and I can't enjoy it at all. If you don't know what it is, Google it and get some background information on it. I don't like it. I've never really liked it. Like, this is one of the moments that I hate working as a teacher, because it's a children's party and a children's fest. So naturally, every school in the Netherlands is celebrating it. And that's fine. I just wish I didn't have to. And mostly that has to do with the fact that I have to lie to my students and say that something is true. Well, it's not true, because we have to pretend that this guy is real. He's kind of like Santa Claus, like he's Dutch Santa Claus, basically. A little bit different, but that's the essential. Like, you don't tell little children, oh yeah, he's not real. Like, you don't do that. That's something for the parents to do when they decide it's time. But I can't lie. I can't do that. I'm very honest, and I can't lie. So it's always very difficult, especially when children ask it. Like, yesterday there was a kid that asked, well, is he real? And I'm like, well, what do you think? I don't know. Like, you think things, decide for yourself. And it's very difficult. At least I feel it's very difficult. Anywho, let's get back to the video, because now I am going off topic, and while we are doing this beautiful rock work, I mean, look at all these plants. Like, this is why I say I am the queen of Planet Zoo, given vegetation and landscaping and scenery. I'm very good at it, and I know it's very cocky to say it, I know it sounds like bragging, but I'm actually very good at it, and I'm really happy with it as well. But oh well. Oh, I'm just in awe of the way I place plants. So the point of this Lemur Island, like, you can't actually access it as guests, but you can go around it in your boat. So one of the next videos, either the next or the one after that, will be the boarding station for our boat ride. And our boat ride will go all around the giant lake, underneath the waterfall, and then it will sail right like next to Lemur Island, which is what I've also named this episode. So I'm quite happy with that. Also, how annoying is it the moment I started to place waterfalls, it's raining, like, what the heck. Anywho, so naturally, like, it sails past Lemur Island, so you can see everything. So I need to keep that kind of into consideration with where I placed vegetation and where I didn't. And at the end, I will also place a shot of where you can see the entire side of the island, and you can see that you can actually look quite good into it. Even though the animals still have the privacy, like, I'm a big fan of animal privacy. So it's kind of like Jurassic Park, like in one, you know, the scene where they're like taking a ride in the cars on the track, and they're like, oh well, I can't see the dinosaur. No, because the dinosaur doesn't want to be seen. He will come out when he wants to be seen. And I kind of felt like that was the way with Lemur Island as well. Like, the lemurs will come out when they're ready. And I know the guests will say, it was an awful viewing at Lemur Island. I can't see the animals at all. You couldn't even tell if there was a lemur in there. Well, I don't care. Just mind your own business. It's my zoo. Get out then if you don't like it. Plus, the other habitats are actually quite good. So one negative rating on this habitat, I can deal with that. Guests will still come. So if you want to download anything from this zoo, I believe I put all the habitats as blueprints on the gallery. If I didn't, I'm sorry, remind me in the comments down below and I will still do that, but I tend to do it. But then again, I also have a tendency to forget a lot of stuff, so don't blame me if it's not there. Just send me a message like, Nym, you forgot it, put it up, otherwise... And I don't know what you'd say otherwise, but, you know, just tell me. So here we are making this inside pond, and we are going to use a lot of steam effects just because we are using them all in the zoo. And I actually felt like it was quite fun to use them. It makes it look like this really mythical zoo. And I know that's not the theme that we're going to, but I kind of like it anyway. I love the smoke effects in this game. They look so good and so nice. Same here with all the plants that we are placing on these rocks. They look incredible, like really, really, really incredible. They are so, and I know this sounds very weird, but they are natural. And I know that's what the Planet like team is after, because it is a very realistic game. I have to say that, like, all the information of the animals, the way that they look, the way the fur looks, it is so incredible. I really can't believe that I bought a PC just to play Planet Zoo on. That's what I did. Like, I bought like the best PC I could handle. I think I have an i7 core or an i9. I believe i9. Yeah, I got a 9 core. Hell yes. So I could run a lot of games and I can put so many items in my zoo. And I am really, really happy with it. And I can finally play Planet Zoo on like high settings. On my old computer, I wasn't able to like play it on low settings. I tried, but it was so laggy and so annoying. But you know what? That's life, so whatever. So here we are placing a lot more ropes all around the place, just to make it look, here I come again with the word natural, because I wanted this really to be a climbing adventure for our lemurs. So we are placing them all around, and there is some cutting here and there because, you know, you don't want to look at me placing ropes for like 15 minutes. Okay, placing all these ropes in real life took me like almost an hour. There are so many different pieces of rope in here. It's insane, like literally insane. And I know that I just said, oh, I didn't want to cut. Yeah, but this is like pretty standard. You can see me doing one side and then boom, suddenly the other side is there. And then if you download the blueprint of this habitat, you will see so many ropes, like literally everywhere. Because I really want it to be a paradise. I mean, like, it's their own private island. How amazing is it? Oh yeah, also this little piece of climbing material. I'm so happy with it, and it ended exactly in the tree. And I was just guessing that. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna place it here. I'm just hoping it's going to end somewhere near the tree. And it did! And I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with how it looks as well. And here as well, here we're creating with the poles or the logs. We are creating this little climbing area for them, and underneath we are actually going to place some rocks down. Just to make sure that we have something else, because I didn't want to do all like logs and rope. I wanted to do some rocks as well. You know, the variation is good. It keeps your zoo interesting. And I know I'm not a Planet Zoo guru and all that things, you know, and for real tips, either watch my videos, but I'm still a beginner, or like ask someone that has way more experience, or watch their videos, but watch this video first, because you know I'm trying really hard and I'm getting better. But you know, we're trying and we're experimenting, and I feel like I'm getting better and better every time. Now, and I just told you that I cut out most of my rope placing. Turns out that I didn't. Wow, okay, so like this build, I built this 2 weeks ago, I believe, and I'm editing it 2 weeks after that. So yeah, I don't really, oh no, I build it and then I edit it instantly, and then I'm only now doing the voiceover, so I don't really remember what I left in and what I don't left in. Because in case you haven't noticed, my memory isn't that good. And you know, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Oh yeah, and terrain worked. I wanted to keep the terrain kind of the way they like it. And then I realized halfway when I was doing this, I was like, wait, I'm in sandbox mode and I have their needs turned off. Who even cares? I don't. But then on the other hand, I was like, yeah, I do want my animals to be happy, and if I can give them the habitat that they dream of, and that's like 99% what they want, I would completely be fine with that. There was just so many long grass, like so much. And I couldn't find it all. I believe that in the end, I just about made it. And here we are at the exterior of the habitat, because of course that needs to look nice as well. So if you have like your zoo, if you have like a mental image of my zoo, the entrance is like all the way on the other side of this park. So the guests are going to have to walk a long way to get here. And there is a really ugly bridge leading to it, but we will get to that one day, but not today, because I don't exactly know yet how I want the pathways to walk, or to go, and where I want to add certain habitats or certain exhibits. So this area around Lemur Island and around their quarters, like the building, that is pretty much set, but how the guests are going to get there and with which route, that has not yet been decided. And I don't know, like at this point I still don't know, and we will just see. And that is very weird, because usually I plan out a lot, and I planned this entire zoo before I even started it, because like I drew out the entire terrain map of where I wanted hills and where I didn't want them, you know, and whatever, like etc. I draw a lot before I actually build a habitat. First I make it in my mind, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to have this and this in my habitat, and I want my building to look somewhat like this. I actually do that in Planet Coaster as well, with The Sims as well. Before I start to build something, I make a very rough sketch on like in Photoshop with my tablet. I'm just like, yeah, somehow like something around this, something like some, just about, like nothing exact, and I still will like be like, oh, this was a really bad idea, I'm gonna make it different, and that's completely fine. It's not set in stone, even though I wish I could just do it perfectly on the first try. But that is something that is just me, and it's my problem. So right now we are just finishing up the surrounding areas. We are going to place obviously some donation boxes, and we are going to place some educational things. I believe we didn't place them yet. Oh wait, we did. Oh, luckily I cut that out because that would be really boring to see, like me placing signs. And I absolutely, like, I'm gonna say it again, but I love the foliage here. I love the way it just looks and it's surrounding the pathway. It makes it look a really natural zoo. Anyways, guys, we are going into the end cinematics, so if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, maybe subscribe to the channel. You can hit that bell icon so you get notified when my next video goes live. All my social media is in the description down below, so if you want, you can follow me there as well. I wish you guys a very good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I will hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.